Welcome. So, 1 million cups, right? We're all here on a Wednesday, bright and early. We love it. Again, punishment for my sins. How many of you are here for the first time? Awesome. Well, welcome, guys. Thank you for coming. As you will quickly find out, 1 million cups is the place to commiserate about election results. 1 million cups is a weekly entrepreneurship program where we have 2 startups from around Tampa Bay and sometimes around the country come up here and talk about the cool things they're building. And then it is on us, the audience, incumbent upon us, to fill the next 20 minutes with questions and answers, looking to help them build their presentation, make suggestions for their product, connect the entrepreneurs to customers. We all need to dig deep into our Rolodexes and make the connections that will help these entrepreneurs grow. This is a community that loves growth, again, despite certain election results, but those for argument. As always, if you would like to present or know somebody who would like to present to be up here who's growing something cool in our community, again, Amendment 2 Joe, go to 1millioncups.com/St. Pete. There's a big orange button that says request to present. That will get you in the queue. One of our organizers will then contact you and walk you through the process. Speaking of our organizers, we have almost a quorum of them here today. We have Marianne Bowers. Hello, Marianne.
Hey guys.
In the back, we have Miss Danielle Whitelaw. Hello, Danielle. And with us in spirit are Richard Wood, John Morrow, and Ruben Pressman. I'd also like to thank our cool USF St. Pete friends who have been filming us in a professional capacity for the last couple weeks. Thanks, guys. We appreciate that. Our dear friend Carly, who puts together that awesome email you guys get at the end of every week with updates on who presented, events coming up in the community, and how you can help our entrepreneurs. If you're not getting that email, there's a list right there by the door. Please shoot your email address onto there. We promise we will not spam you with other stuff. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce my friend Joe with some pretty exciting stuff. So.
Thank you for allowing us to present to you. I'm Joe Cuenco, my colleagues Charles Gerard and Rich Greco. We build living buildings that keep your children healthy and safe, and that teaches them to be a friend to Mother Earth and others.
Now, today we're going to be talking about our school's green building using UV reflective windows, which reflect UV rays, which would otherwise heat up our classroom and make us have to use more electricity to make our air conditioning systems work harder. Also, our school also uses recycled Sprite bottle carpets, which do not emit VOCs and are not glued down to the floor with glues that contain toxic chemicals. We also collect rainwater that falls on the green buildings and use it for toilet flush.
Okay, so sorry about that video not being of great quality. However, so you understand that today's discussion is about sustainability and green technologies. And Learning Gate School is a sustainable building. Now, we also want to hear talk about Carl and Jim's, who are middle school students there. They have a science problem. Carla's mold in her petri dish will not grow. Jim has bread in a dish that will not rise. Why is this happening? Why is this not happening in the classroom? I'll explain later. Okay, so we talked about building living buildings that keep your children healthy and safe and teaches them to be a friend to Mother Earth and others. But realistically, what is the school in the box? It is a LEED Platinum, Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, building that is pre-engineered. It ships to your site. It can be portable. It can be permanent construction. And it is the most advanced green technology building there is. Our objective was to build a classroom, a learning environment that was the most healthy. Because today there's lots of garbage in the air, making kids and staff sick. On top of that, we save capital costs, energy costs, and we save maintenance costs. So it has unparalleled return on investment. Now you're all wondering what the school in the box looks like. Okay, you can see that on the page. Okay, so here it is. A base unit is about basically 1,100 square feet. Very flexible design. We can, if you need 11,000 square feet, we can construct 10 of them together. They can actually go 4 high. So maximum flexibility in design. Ultra high efficiency systems reduce energy costs. There is no better thermal envelope. All the systems work together to make this a highly efficient building. It is self-sustaining. It can be removed from the grid. So what that means is that you don't have to connect it to power. We also have the option of providing water capture so that rainwater can be chlorinated and used for toilet flushing, as you saw in the video. Now, a lot of our competitors talk about low VOCs. We guarantee no VOCs, no volatile organic compounds in a classroom because the materials are Green Guard certified. No VOCs, no carcinogens, no formaldehyde. We provide the optimum internal lighting comfort. The LED systems work together with sensors to replicate natural light at all times. And we prove it. We have an online monitoring system that tells us what the air characteristics are and what the air quality is. And that's why we guarantee what the environment looks like. Okay, and the advanced materials virtually eliminate maintenance. Okay, so what problems were we trying to solve? Charter school facilities are the biggest challenge for a lot of these schools. And so we looked at how we provide the greatest amount of flexibility, save time. We can engineer and construct that 1,100 square foot building in weeks versus months. So time is money, just like the UPS commercial. Time, we save you time and money. Okay, we save time and money. Awesome. Okay. Awesome. Highest level of energy efficiency, highest health quality, and we save money with energy and ongoing maintenance. So time, cost, health. Okay, this is what it looks like on the inside. I'm going to go through these quickly because I've got a 6-minute cutoff here coming up. We can talk about all the questions later. LearningGate is the nation's first LEED Platinum under the USGBC LEED for Schools program. The nation's first. And that's really the father of the school in the box. Okay, you see the external view, and here's the internal view of the campus. Okay, our launch schedule. So you see LEED Platinum school built in 2010, 3 years later. We actually completed the first portable prototype. Our final specs on the school in the box completed 1 cube. September, we completed the business plan so that we can actually talk to potential investors. Okay? And we will have our first commercial office installation January 2015. But I should point out that in September, we started looking at talking to potential investors. That's a point. And here on our tracking chart, we're starting out, this is where we're actually tracking investment. Just kidding. Okay, so commercial availability 1/2015, 5/15 we have our daycare center, and then approval for Gates construction, our first charter school. Hopefully we'll have more in queue before that, with 2016. Okay, so final thoughts. Okay, so what we're trying to accomplish with the school in the box is really a cultural shift, meaning that we get people to think about sustainability and preserving natural resources. And as we accomplish this, we actually teach the kids STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, and hopefully point them in the direction of developing career skills. They understand the science between the green technologies, but hopefully they'll want to maybe even work in the fields, in new energy. And then lastly, when we think about our kids in the classroom, staff in the classroom, they can breathe clean air. We know it has no carcinogens, no formaldehyde. And going back to the science experiment, the reason why the mold won't grow and the dough won't rise, or will rise slowly, is because there's virtually no humidity and there's no carcinogens and no garbage in the air. And that is the school in the box. Thank you very much.
What have your sales been to date, specifically? Is this out in the market right now? You have the school, so are they one of a number of these that are out there or that are going to be out there?
All the final materials will be built in December, okay, and be shipped down. So our first construction will be January 15th. Now, as far as the pre-engineered component, the first school was actually LearningGate. So that was the father, but now when you talk about the units that are pre-engineered to be shipped, that will be shipped in December for construction in January. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, who's your target?
Well, The primary target are schools, okay? So it can be public schools, private schools. Charter schools have the greatest amount of needs, and so when we look at our market segment, I think we get most traction there. However, this building has all sorts of applications. It'll be the commercial building that'll be assembled in Tampa, and also, you know, we're talking to the Red Cross. So you think about a building that can be shipped in, that's why it's called School in a Box. It can be shipped in a container anywhere and be actually a standalone building that doesn't need any natural resources. That's really the concept. Yes, ma'am.
So what is the cost of a, plain 1,100 square foot building?
Our costs with all the green technologies installed are $185 a square foot.
How does that compare to traditional construction?
When you look at Florida Department of Education data, their traditional construction costs are somewhere about $205 a square foot. That does not include the green technologies. So we're really looking at the ROI of if the sun were out 100% of the time, you wouldn't need to be connected to the grid. Okay, so those are just a real energy savings. Now, according to the DOE stats, national data, $295 per student for utilities. So if we can save any portion of that, that's going back to the classroom. Yes, sir.
You mentioned what the cost per square foot is.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd ever laid that number out, but give somebody an ROI number. You know, the initial cost is this, but they save this, so the net cost is $130 a square foot if
Right.
you really look at it over time.
Yeah.
I think that's a much better pitch
Okay.
because of what you're doing.
Okay.
Because you are saving a lot of money all the way down the line.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yes.
So, say I'm a school, I buy your schoolroom in a box, classroom in a box.
Okay.
What's next? Do I have to employ my own construction firm, or is that something you do also?
No, we're the general contractor. So we work with the design engineer, which is really not much work because we'd have to figure out what your configuration is. But most of the design has been done already. So we're the GC. Or if you wanted to have it shipped to California and employ a GC out there, we could do that as well.
Does that cost include HVAC, and is there anything special about the HVAC?
There's something special about the HVAC. It's all DC powered. So the solar panels power the DC HVAC, as well as the Monsters unit, which filters out the air, as well as the EverClean green system, which shoots UV rays at the air particles and cleans. We literally wash the air, basically. Yes, sir.
How did you resolve the questions for ADA requirements and the life safety code for schools?
Okay, I'll turn that over to Charles at GC.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Yes, Mayor, how did you resolve the ADA requirements for schools in your buildings and the life safety code?
Well, the life safety code that's obviously per code, so we include everything in the school in the box that's required. ADA, size of doors, entrance and all that.
Bathrooms, for instance?
Bathrooms, that's all.
Each building has its own bathroom? Or?
Well, we can do either a separate building by itself or we can do gang bathrooms, depending on the age group of the student.
Okay.
Sir.
Can you share your background and how you found yourself at this point?
Well, I don't know how long I have. I'll try to condense it. Well, back in 2002, I built the first phase of Learning Gate Community School, and I built that for Patty Gerard. And she has always been conscious of the environment. So when we built Learning Gate Community School, and I invite you to take a look at it at the website, but we moved forward into phase 3, which was to build a green environment for the building itself. So back in 2005, 2006, I started doing research on LEED. And it was very difficult because Florida was quite a ways behind. There were very few architects that even understood what LEED was. There was an architect in Sarasota, Carlson Studios. They had built a couple of LEED buildings down in Sarasota. And Drew Smith happened to be the first LEED professional to approve a building. So I got with them and we started talking about building a LEED school. So in designing the school in the box, and I just mentioned it to one of the person here. Back in 2006, 2007, I was in the Middle East. I was in Abu Dhabi. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with a city called Masdar. Masdar is the first zero carbon, zero energy city in the world. And when I was there's a program called Estadamas. And Estadamas is sustainability in Arabic. And the paradigm shift in architecture is you have no energy, you have no water, you have no resource. Now build your building. So that's kind of what the school in the box came from and how it's developed. You know, the construction, the techniques of the building itself, we've designed it to be able to take 150 mile an hour winds sustained, and it'll take 7.5 on the Richter scale. And the reason for that is there's literally no mass in the building. And we've created a moment frame, which has been quite complicated, but we've been able to do that very efficiently. And that's kind of how it all came about.
So by trade, you're contractors, architects?
I'm a general contractor with, actually my background is space technology. I was at the Cape during the Apollo program. So, yeah.
Is there any reason somebody couldn't live in this?
No, actually it could be used. There's a number of applications for it. It's just, I just saw the need because during a lot of conferences that I would go to, national conferences, I found a lot of facilities, people, they wanted to be sustainable. A lot of schools, they don't really understand it. They don't know. It's a big word to try to wrap your mind around. So what I decided to do was create a building where you just open the doors and everything in it is sustainable. You really don't even have to think about it. And because everyone says, well, it's going to cost more. And it really doesn't. To give you an example, when we built the LEED Platinum building in Learning Gate, 65 to 70% of the materials came off the shelf from Lowe's. And that's not a plug for Lowe's, okay? But so it's really easy. It's really easy to do it. It's kind of what we're doing in education now. Is you basically just take the problem and work backwards. And instead of trying to design something from the beginning and trying to get to it in the end, which is very difficult to do. So that's kind of what we did. We just, we did what they asked us to do, and that's how we reached it. That's how we became the first LEED Platinum.
And our portable unit, which is the prototype, we're actually be selling as a time home. Now we'll be over at the Florida Charter School Conference. We'll be there, so you can see that. That's in Orlando on the 18th. So, yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me what the expected life of the building is, and what type of foundation changes have to be made if you go up instead of out?
Well, the life expectancy of is as long as it's maintained. It'll last forever. We've designed it with, there's no maintenance on the building whatsoever.
So even if you're in a really rainy climate, it's still okay?
Yeah, there's a couple of applications that we're looking at now. Along with the solar panel, we also have we're looking at different prototypes for hydrogen fuel cell generators. And there's a couple out there that we're looking at seriously. So the hydrogen generator will produce energy regardless of whether the sun is on. It's really nice. It's really nice when the sun is working because the solar panel actually creates the hydrogen and oxygen to run the fuel cell. So we're hoping that the sun shines forever.
Sir.
Do you have an educational component in place currently that correlates with the curriculum to the schools as you're trying to emphasize the STEM principles?
Yes, actually, the Learning Gate School, there's about 150 science lessons around the environmental and green technology curriculum. But yes, it's very much a STEM focus. We have a partner that we're working with, and Mr. Arden was the principal and founder of the school, has some of that curriculum as well. So that's very important because, STEM education, we want to make more than the buzzword. We want to make it real and apply it. And there are several schools that are doing that, but this is the embodiment of STEM. Okay. Yes.
My father put us through college selling modular classrooms growing up, so I kind of grew up in a household where he was doing this every day. And I know that a lot of the frustration would be is the school runs out of room, they don't have enough more, seats for students. It's too expensive right now to build a whole new building. So they start looking for, modular classroom as a way to extend it. And then it goes to the lowest bidder, for some combination of thereof. Because, again, they don't have enough money for any building, they just need more seats. So this seems like it's something more designed at, more tailored to a school who directly wants to go after, I want a green building versus just I want more space. Or am I wrong there? And how are you going to kind of address?
Well, there's a couple things, and I'm glad you mentioned that. The building is designed for community development, for a community build project. You could actually, with our technical assistant, you could actually get a group of people together and actually build it. It's kind of just put up. These panels come in 4-foot sections, so it takes, once the slab is down, it takes very little construction knowledge to build. It's kind of like Habitat, but instead of Habitat, you can actually build your own school. And we would certify everything. There's certain elements that we have to obviously permit separately, which would be the HVAC, the solar, the plumbing, that type of the roofing, because we want a warranty with that. It's designed to be basically maintenance-free, but just because there's certain technical aspects that, but if the school has their own subcontractor and they want to donate time to the school, they can also do that. So we're actually selling the building. That's an installed price, the $185. But there's also a price if you want to we drop it off and you do it.
And then actually, just wanted to be clear, this is not a modular building. We don't use the M word. This is pre-engineered. This is pre-engineered permanent affordable construction. But you bring up a good point. The EPA has studies that talk about on the portables that are out there, horrible formaldehyde. And the EPA also says that when you have a clean environment, your standardized test results can increase as much as 15%. 15%. Think about that. So can we do better with a clean classroom? Absolutely.
No,
you want health, right?
I think it's great you're doing the clean cost. I'm just curious about the lowest bidder when it comes to schools that need more space.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So what's the difference between a modular and prefabrication?
Well,
modular is basically, and this gentleman will probably answer it. Modular is basically just dropped, strapped to the ground, and I'm sure you've gone around and seen schools with these portables. They also call them portables. That's what it is. It's portable, and
I'm thinking like modular homes, yeah.
right, right. Well, and I don't particularly like using the word modular, but everything is modular. Okay, doors are modular, your furniture is modular, everything's designed to fit. Your windows are modular. They're modular components. Okay, so depends on semantics on how you want to describe it.
So if the school does have growth, is there a way to modify the existing structure?
Good question. Yes, actually, we're going to be doing a presentation to a school that has a high school now. We can take this application and design it to where it's seamless. It'll fit right into what you have existing. So,
and that's the basic difference with the modular concept. Is this integrated?
Yeah, you can integrate right into your existing structure.
There was a question back here.
Oh, sorry.
I actually had two. The first one was, I would be careful when saying that the buildings can last forever, because both of the last schools I went to, they were around for over 50 years before they were torn down. So yes, you can maintain them for a very long time, but you might need to put a number on that at some point.
Well, these are steel versus traditional stick built.
Oh, well, we didn't know that.
And then the second one was, you guys have been partnered with Learning Gate, I guess. You've been working with them for a while. Have you gone out to other schools? How are you getting a hold of them? How are you letting them know about your product?
Well, we've been talking. Basically, we're in the go-to-market phase. Okay, so Charter School Conference will be our first big marketing event. But in the meantime, we've been talking to schools one-on-one and looking at the new application. So our marketing effort is really just started. Yes.
Has there been much pushback from Duke Energy?
As far as getting a rebate?
Well, let me answer. When I was happened to be, I was at Bing Energy, which is a hydrogen fuel cell company in Tallahassee. And when I was leaving, their next appointment was with Duke Energy. Duke Energy, most of the electric companies, and a lot of it is in California, they're trying to figure out distributed energy in order to be able to not build any more power plants. So they're trying to figure out how they can put supplemental energy on homes, businesses, and how they can charge you for it. Once they can figure that out, then that'll work. But there's a video out there called kilowatt hours. Hours is spelled O-U-R-S. And I'll give you an example of what power companies do. In Texas, there was a push for an electric company to build a new power plant. It was going to cost $150 million because they said your energy needs are going to double. Well, the people got up and they said, well, why don't we just make our homes 50% more energy efficient? And that's only going to cost $30 million. So they took it to the city council. The city council said, that's a really good idea. They did it, and they didn't have to build a power plant. It really is all about standard of living, quality of life, and how you can afford it, because it's only going to go up. Yeah.
Do you know you ever think about building them in an octagon shape, and you sell energy back to the grid? And did you attend the pitchfork protest across the street from Duke Energy last Wednesday?
No, but
you missed a good show.
Well, to answer the question about the octagon, to reach the wind load and seismic requirements on a building like this, the engineering can be a nightmare, and we've solved it. But when you start moving things around, it gets really complicated. The forces become really complicated. So this is actually the most efficient building to do what we wanted to do and reach, the loads that we wanted to reach.
Yeah, well, the octagon shape, the wind goes around the building instead of pushing it in.
Well, it depends on which engineer you talk to. But the forces, depending on where it's coming from, you take a look at the Earth, okay, which is just a Mongolian building, and I've seen a lot of them in Asia. That's what they design it for, because the wind just wraps around it. But there's other forces that you have to consider, especially seismic issues.
Okay.
Yeah, octagon is not necessarily the best shape because the walls get lengthy for the octagon, so
yeah,
they fall over.
Looks like we're out of time.
We do have one last question for you. How can we as a community help you grow and help you get this out there to more schools, more communities?
We need contacts, we need money. So if you know anybody that's willing to invest, if you have questions, actually, there's some of our brochures up here. We'll be around after the close of the meeting if you'd like to answer, to talk about it more and talk about what we need.
Do you want local money, or or is it just money from anywhere?
Please, wherever it comes from. It'd be nice for local money, but we can talk with some national organizations.
If I may, there's a very, very, very aggressive benefit for anyone that believes there's an opportunity here. So local money would be great. If you're actually, anybody interested, we can talk about it afterwards. It's really, it's for someone or any entity or group of people that really are looking to invest. It could be a phenomenal opportunity because we understand we're a startup.
What's the order of magnitude of the investment you're looking for?
$300,000.
For all you guys standing over out there, there's still some room back here in the corner. We can shift you guys in here more so you can hear the next presentation. I'm here to tell you about a couple things coming up here. Pretty exciting, we have Global Entrepreneurship Week coming up. And there'll be all different types of events. Obviously all facilitated around the startup community here in Tampa. And we have a startup weekend that's coming up, and really neat item about startup weekend is actually the last winner of startup weekend. Pitch a tent was a $1 million plus attendee. So if you have an idea you want to get off the ground in a weekend in 54 hours, startup weekend's a place to be. And then also you've got the Veterans Entrepreneurship Training Symposium. You have Tech Talk that's put on by the Innovation Center every single month, as well as Startup Quest, which some of you might remember as a previous presenter, or actually have their pitch contest in Safety Harbor. So really neat stuff to be a part of. If you have any questions on any of these events, please feel free to ask me, and they'll also be in the email that's coming later this week. So next we have Matt with Ticket Slip, so please give him a round of applause.
All right, everybody, hi. My name is Matt Foreman, and I'm here to present Ticket Slip. So just give a little quick background on it. We started Ticket Slip on Startup Bus, and Startup Bus was a crazy, unpredictable, amazing mess of a time. We had 3 days to come up with an idea and turn this idea into what we saw as a successful attempt at a business. And but we spent sleepless hours, like working around the clock, from hotel hallways to our final night. We ended up working in a closed down Taco Bell that was connected to a gas station in the freezing cold in a state that I've never been to before because our bus broke down. So just basically perfect perfect scenario for creativity to flow. So then Ticket Slip was born. So millions of people this year will be attending music festivals in the U.S. And each year these annual music festivals try to outdo the previous year before by booking more popular performers or increasing fan interaction or increasing the length or anything in between. And these improvements come at a cost as music festival tickets continue to rise. And while many, if not most, music festivals are aimed at millennials, many find themselves in a financial dilemma when these music festival tickets cost hundreds of dollars. So Ticket Slip is a solution for those who want to attend their favorite events. Ticket Slip is a solution for those that want to attend their favorite events while being fully prepared financially and informationally. Ticket Slip takes the popular mechanics of both payment plans and pre-orders and provides a way for people to not only afford their favorite events, but be fully prepared for them. Now people can start preparing for their, not ready for that one yet. People can start preparing for their favorite events many months in advance of tickets even going on sale, using our estimations based on things such as venue location, the attendance, previous ticket prices, and the dates. And then we can put out our estimates, and from there you can begin saving even before anything's posted from the event organizers themselves. From there you can choose to start saving in a weekly or monthly fashion, or you can choose to pay for the event in full today. Sorry about that. He's super nervous speaking in front of people. It's a lot easier when you're speaking in front of a mirror and you don't have and once the tickets do officially go on sale, then we purchase a ticket for the user in their name, using their information, and deliver it to them via email once the tickets are officially on sale. Now, right now, we do work on estimations of the price since we are working in the future before the event hosts put out the actual price. And in the case of an overestimation, we refund 100% of the extra money along with the purchase ticket. And in the case of underestimation, we inform all the people as soon as possible once we get the actual price, and we give the people the option to adjust their payment plan to reach the necessary amount, or if they pay in full, the option to pay off the remaining balance. So right now, Ticket Slip's still in the early development stages. Really just listening to customers right now, seeing what's most important to them. I am limited by my developmental skills, computer-wise, not mentally. Right now, it's basically just me. I've co-founded with my buddy over there, Kevin. He's hiding. And yeah, right now I have a website up. We're able to receive emails and actually able to receive payments and make payment plans. But I'm only currently servicing and accepting payments for one event, and that's Sunset Music Festival, which is a festival here in Tampa. And ever since posting it, and it hasn't been long, it's been maybe a couple months, I start receiving tons of emails each day regarding saving for Sunset Music Festival. And as of now, I only have one person that's committed to paying me the $180 for the ticket. So I need to work on my conversion rates there. But as of now, I've received well over 100 emails on it. And if you Google Sunset Music Festival 2015, Ticket Slip is the #1 Google search result, even ahead of Sunset Music Festival's own website. Now, why is that? I'm no SEO guru by any means, but I believe it's because we built such a following of people that want to find this event. And Sunset Music Festival and several other events don't even start servicing them once their event ends. But these people, fresh off the event, they're still hyped about it. They want to prepare for the next one, and they don't have the means to start preparing for it until the event organizers say so. So, and I actually have like a creativity conference up there, and we're the #1 and 2 before the actual creativity conference as well. But yeah, with Ticket Slip, we aim to help people to maintain a financially stable lifestyle while still enjoying your favorite events. So start saving today, rock out tomorrow. My name's Matt Foreman. That's Ticket Slip. Thank you.
It seems like a lot of work to service these. Let's say if you got 100 people that signed up, how are you making money off this yourself? Have you kind of worked out that model?
Yeah. See, and that's kind of why I don't have the payment process directly on the page, because I would be afraid to get 100 people and then be like, oh crap, I gotta manually put in everybody's information when I buy the ticket. So I want to automate that process. Right now, we are making $10 per ticket sold. That's broken down into the payment plan as well. So like the person spent $180, they end up spending $190. But yeah, right now it's me just manually putting all their information in when I purchase a ticket, just as if they were doing it themselves. But we just take away the worry about having to prepare for the event themselves, and then we deliver it to the whatever. Did that answer your question? Yeah.
So say this is a very hot event. What if you've taken your customer's money and you can't get them a ticket?
Cool. Okay, so right now we do focus on events that aren't selling out like that, which is why I'm doing music festivals, namely because music festivals aren't limited by the number of seats, because it is usually an open area. Now you do have music festivals like Coachella, sells out in like an hour. There's no way I can get 3 tickets to that thing. But there are several events, like Bonnaroo I had up here, for example. They have about 130,000 plus capacity, and this past year and previous years they hit about 80, 90,000 people. So there is room and kind of that safety net to purchase a ticket for them, and obviously room for them to get more people in there. So right now, I'm very choosy with what events to service, making sure that it's not going to sell out immediately, like Sunset Music Festival. They didn't get their capacity as well, so kind of doing that safety net right now. But in the case that, for whatever reason, if it does sell out, then we would refund them 100%. Because unlike Ticketmaster or other ticketing service things, they purchase a ticket for the user and they make payment plans. Well, the ticket's already purchased. Well, in our case, we're doing pre-order. So we're taking the money and then we purchase a ticket. If we can't purchase a ticket, we're not on the hook for it, so we can return all the money to you.
Do the payment plans run up until the tickets are released, until you buy them? Or is there a, like an off area period where they're still making payments, so you don't have the full amount of cash for the ticket, but you've already bought the ticket? So like you have to shell out your own cash until they finish paying.
That will never be the case. The money's always set so that the money's fully accumulated before tickets go on sale.
Have you thought of negotiating with certain events to get tickets ahead of time, or to reserve a certain number of tickets for your following?
Yeah, absolutely. That's obviously an ideal situation where I can guarantee that I have the event tickets available. Right now, I'm still trying to prove concept. I mean, I can cold email these people all day. Say, hey, that's a great idea. You should give me a ton of free tickets so I can sell them for you. But right now, yeah, I'm just trying to prove concept and show that people are interested in a service like this.
Yeah, so
So you're saying how it works is it's basically a pre-order for tickets, but only for tickets that I could get anyway. So what would be the incentive of me paying you $10 to purchase a ticket that I could just purchase myself?
Right, and that goes with basically any pre-order for anything. I mean, you look at the video game industry with pre-orders, that's probably the most booming one right now, where people say, yeah, I want to pre-order this game, and yeah, you could actually walk into the store and buy the game right now, but you want to pre-order it and know that you're going to be going to this, and then now you don't have to worry about it. And once the money is set up for the actual, in this case, event, since we send the ticket to you immediately, once you purchase it, you never have to worry about it again, and then once the event comes around, you'll be like, oh, I already got the event ticket. So again, pre-ordering, that's all a personal, if you want to use it or not. And for event organizers with pre-ordering, then they can also help gauge the actual interest in the event, and in case of some of these, they can expand and say, okay, we got X amount of people, we were only preparing for less than X, now we know that we need to move out.
So as a customer, I would pre-order a video game probably because they give some sort of deal. So I get $5 off the game if I pre-order. Plus I might get it a day early, so there's an incentive to pre-order.
Mm-hmm. And actually, going along with that, most music festivals do offer early payment on things. There's different tiers with buying tickets. Once they go on sale, they're at a cheaper price, and then as the event gets closer, they get more and more expensive. So that would be another incentive right there, just to get it as soon as possible.
Sure.
Yeah.
How would you know the price is going to be like a year out?
Right, and we're using basic just estimations right now. We track previous event trends. It's right now it's pretty logical as to what it's going to be around, really. Like you'll see, obviously, with everything gets more expensive as time goes on. So with some of these events, they're relatively within the same price range. So we just do basic estimation right now. If anything, we want to guess a little bit higher so that we can return the money rather than ask for more. So yeah, we're just using basic estimation right now.
So, did you say so far you haven't had one person?
I've had one unique sale. We sold a few to friends.
Okay.
But yeah, one unique sale of a person, yeah, I have no idea who.
So are you planning to aggregate the entire experience? Meaning, I got caught a few years ago driving across Alligator Alley. And there was a fish concert at Big Sky, Indian Reservation. And I got caught in the middle of that. I was just trying to go to work. Right? I was out there for 4 hours. I should have gone to the music festival. And I was stuck in traffic. So my point is, if you're planning that far out in advance, are you going to plan to aggregate the experience? Rental car, hotel, all of that good stuff that people who are working on a budget, they also might need to set aside. So if I come to you ticket slip, could you advise me on the whole experience?
And that's another thing we want to integrate into that is just a feed of either the event's Twitter feed and just giving updates, telling people like if they need to stay, if they need to have sleeping accommodations, or if they need to have food accommodations, or even weather updates. We want to have these people fully prepared. Yeah, not just financially, but informationally as well. So yeah, absolutely.
So you're developing that as you speak?
Yeah, I'm saying I'm developing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think what caught me as the most interesting part of your presentation is the SEO on future events. And most organizations, like they're not thinking about next year's event right away, but the fans are, like you mentioned. If there's some way to say like Bonnaroo 2016, and to like be the first result of that, and put in your email, you get updates about Bonnaroo 2016, even if you're not officially Bonnaroo. Something tells me there's just a lot of value in being that result, having all those emails, and then doing something, somehow monetizing that information. You're on top of all those events. I just think, look at that.
Oh yeah, I was pretty shocked how quickly we were able to move up to Google. I was like hoping to click Google and find us on page 2, but yeah, seeing this page 1, yeah, hopefully we can do something with that. Obviously, there's potential there just to try to find the same software now. Yeah.
Are your estimations available on your website for anybody visiting or wanting to get information about the event? Or is it just when you say, I actually want to buy a ticket and I start my payment plan that I know how much I have to?
No, it's on there. You'll see the final price, and that's after like all their normal fees. That ticketing fees, they make things up. So, but it's the finalized price with the $10 included.
So if I wanted to just save money by myself in my house, I could with your price?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
But there's a transaction fee where that you're gonna have to eat with the bank, which will be your MasterCard. You know, you're taking the total fee from the Bonnaroo Festival, $200, but you're processing your transaction.
Right.
If you're paying 2.5%, now you're eating $5 of your $10.
Yeah, and all those transaction fees, yeah, it's 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction. Right now, that's normal PayPal.
But you're adding that on top.
Right, yeah, that, like, the finalized price is what you are going to be paying after all your payments are done. That's the price of the program. Yes.
So from a purely business perspective, your target market, how big is the target market, and how many tickets you need to sell per music festival, and how many music festivals you need to address, so as to, because you're charging $10 an upsell, and you're servicing a customer for almost the entire year. So does that offset the cost, and how is it as a business proposition? How is it affected?
Well, as far as the target market, I mean, just concerts and music festivals alone, that's just in the U.S., it's I believe it's like a $12 billion market. Obviously, we're not looking to grab the chunk of the $12 billion. But as far as costs and everything go, there really is, other than the costs that are associated with the payment fees and all that and holding money, there aren't a whole lot of costs. Yeah, we're only making $10 over the however many months that we're holding money. But when there's hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people going to these events, we're really not doing much with the money aside from collecting it, holding it, waiting for the ticket to go on sale, buying it for them, sending it to them. I mean, that process, yeah, it might take a long time, but it's not very cost heavy at all.
Yeah.
You guys.
Some more popular events, servers crash. How are you prepared to deal with whenever you have like 1,000 tickets to buy for one event and you're trying to buy them all at once?
Right, and that goes along with the first question. Her question was like, we're going to be focusing on events that aren't going to be going crazy, like people are scrambling to get all these tickets like immediately. We're going to be focusing on the events that won't necessarily sell out within the first day, month, or week, or however long. So we want to focus, since we're new, we want to focus on making sure that we can get the actual ticket. We're not going to be taking the chances until we can really solidify what we're doing.
I think a big question on everybody's mind is that $10 really going to be worth it for you after all the fees and everything that you're taking up? And I'm wondering if you might look into going back to the hotel and the rental car, is that you can actually set your website up to be like an associate of Hilton or Hertz Rent-A-Car, and then every time somebody clicks over, you get so much money.
Yeah,
off whatever
absolutely.
they rent. You may want to look into that, because that's a no cost to you that you can just direct people to that website.
For sure, yeah, and I mean, that's why I'm here, to get cool ideas like that. So, but yeah, I've worked, I've kind of thought about doing like a percentage of the actual ticket, tacking that on. But I mean, like this event right here, this is a $1,600 event in Buffalo. Getting a percentage, even a small percentage on that is such a high amount of money when they're like, oh, that's going to be an extra $160 for it. We're still trying to figure out like our sweet spot financial wise, but yeah, like adding those like rent cars and getting people prepared for the event and sending them over to whatever that, yeah, awesome. Yes.
What does your competition look like?
Honestly, our competition would probably be Ticketmaster as far as like the payment plans, but again, they purchase a ticket immediately once you say that you want to make a payment plan. And if you cancel at any time, you're sometimes on the hook for whatever you paid. Like that money's just gone, or they can refund you a small amount. But they'd be our closest one. As with us, you're never on the hook for the ticket until you actually buy the ticket. You're giving us your money, but aside from the $10 fee, we can refund you all the money, and obviously the payment fees, the transaction fees as well. So, I mean, yeah, Ticketmaster, obviously, I say the competition, like, oh, that's pretty huge, but
they don't advertise that. I've bought tons of tickets on Ticketmaster, and I never knew that there was a payment plan option.
It's for certain events, but yeah, not all. Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm not shifting my head.
I think you're probably underestimating your cost.
Okay, probably, yeah.
Well,
more than likely.
I mean, for example, there's a cyber liability issue.
Okay.
Credit card, fraud, they're gonna be giving all that information, so you're gonna need a risk management, insurance. What happens if a credit card fails? You're gonna need someone customer service on the phone, you're gonna have someone online.
Right.
So the question I have is, how did you derive $10 as your fee?
As of now, it's just like an early, we're just trying it out.
So I would suggest that what you really need to do is, you need to build a financial model, because you need to identify all your costs and make sure that you have enough revenue.
Yeah,
and you break even it, otherwise you'll spend a lot of time and you won't profit.
Yeah, again, still trying to find a sweet spot. We've been experimenting with things, trying to find what people want and what actually works. So yeah,
So you got the business model side, but then you got the financial side, and they have to match.
Right, yeah.
Sometimes they don't.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Often.
Yes.
So this is an awesome idea.
Oh, thanks.
You're like, there are so many people, so many kids that are in serious financial situations that will like die to go to these concerts. So this is great. But since most of these events are run by the same companies around the country, they are ultimately, you should work synergistically with them to just be a payment option rather than going about it, for individual consumers to come to you, because, you know, people, you have no ability to get tickets any more than I would, and it's really impossible to get tickets in a lot of these businesses. Even Sunset, for example, a few years ago, you could get a ticket like that, and now it can sell out. So instead of, since you can't get them any faster than anybody else, you should just be going to these houses and like talking to them as a payment option when you're checking out. Because then it, one, takes off any stress on you for having to get people tickets anyway and letting them down, you know?
Right, yeah, and that's actually one of our long-term goals. We want to work synergistically with these events so that we can guarantee, obviously, but also offer this option, the pre-order option of, and making payments on it. So yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. And,
yeah, like definitely take it out of your mind that there's not a market. I mean, I can tell you any kid from 18 to 35 would use this anytime.
Yeah. Yes.
What's to keep Live Nation or Ticketmaster with $1 billion in the bank from adding that choice to when you're buying the ticket and set it up that way and put you out of business just like that?
Yeah, you're right, and that's why I'm trying to do it quickly and correctly at the right time. Obviously, still got bugs to work out, but just trying to.
But even when you get it built, in literally 5 minutes, they can make that change and you're gone.
Yeah.
You come up with something that they can't do. You can have them buy you. Right. You really need to think about something proprietary that they can manage. Or literally, they'll put you out of business in 5 minutes. So I think the idea is really good. And as soon as they see it, they'll probably do it. So you need to find a way to get around that or work with things that Ticketmaster or Live Nation doesn't do. You know, music festivals might be a good idea, maybe another set of venues that might work that they're not interested in, where you might be able to capture all of that. Seriously, if they see it, you're done.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the Uber. I would disagree with that comment because nobody just bought Uber. Right? Enterprise hasn't just bought Uber, and no other rental car company has bought Uber. You have the Uber model, in my opinion, you have the Uber model for doing events. And I wouldn't let anything discourage me that what the young lady is saying, you have a market. You just gotta, what the other guy is saying, financially, you gotta look at the financial model to make sure it makes sense. But they'll buy you. You might get bought because of this idea, but I don't think Live Nation or anybody else is gonna even think about you. you'll be making millions before they are even aware of it. So don't be discouraged.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I mean, obviously, I need reality check all the time.
Depending on what the guy was saying over here, it seems to me that the money to be made in this is more in data collection rather than $10.
Yeah, it really is. I mean,
so excuse me, when this is huge, I believe you, man. So when this gets to that size, especially if, hey, I'm interested in going to Bonnaroo in 2016 now, I go to your site, I sign up. If you collect that data and then you monetize that data to Mountain Jam and Wani and Jambase and whoever, that seems to be that you're aggregating. And going back on what he said, I believe there's such a resistance in the festival, and I'm more familiar with the jam community, but on that side, there's a big resistance to Live Nation and Ticketmaster that going the other way. I mean, it seems to me that you're more along the lines of a Jambase than really a Ticketmaster and a Live Nation. So have you given much thought to monetizing the data?
Now I have.
Thanks, Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So how can we as a community help you grow and expand this business?
I mean, heck, you already have, seriously. Just these great ideas. But I mean, ultimately, I'd like to build a team of people that I'd be confident to work with on this. I mean, it's a full-fledged project that I'm kind of doing on my own. I mean, I got Kevin. He's obviously doing big things with this startup that he's working with. Yeah, I really want to build a team. I want to.
What skill sets?
Gosh, I don't know. I just want creative minds on it, but obviously a developer would be nice. But yeah, really pretty much anybody that's passionate about it, I would love to work with or at least chat with. So yeah, and I mean, obviously if you guys think I need something else for help, please feel free to send it this way, because I'm super grateful for all your help and just listening to me today. So yeah.
So I didn't hear you say just need money.
No, I don't. Obviously, I mean, I'm not saying it's greedy to ask for money, but I mean, I thought that was just a given.
Thank you guys for coming in. Quick housekeeping-ish announcement. There will be no 1 million cups the last week of November, the day before Thanksgiving. We are all on vacation, sorry. And then the last 2 Wednesdays of the year, unfortunately, coincide with Christmas and New Year's, so we will not be having 1 million cups then, but still plenty of opportunities to pitch before the end of the year. We would love to have you, St. Pete. Would love to see your product. You can go to 1millioncups.com/St. Pete and request to present. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming out. Have a great rest of your